Here are 33 plugins worth downloading, plus 2 bonus sample packs you need to try. You may not need all these plugins, so watch through the full video to find out which ones are must-haves. First on the list is a big one, and I'm naming this a must-have. It's Analog Play by Arturia. This is a free 4 GB library of sounds from one of the most well-known software companies in the world. You get 100 presets including synths, keys, basses, and pads. Arturia released this free version in 2023, so if you haven't downloaded it yet, go get it. It's a great way to get a taste of the Arturia sounds. By the way, I'm going to share the instrument plugins in the first half of the video and the effects in the second half. Next up, I've got a plugin from award-winning producer illFactor. Yes, you know him from Beat Academy. Orbit is a virtual instrument with sounds curated by illFactor himself, and it has a bunch of options to tweak the included sounds. Blend the samples, add chorus, space, and more. This next one was a nice surprise, and it's a must-have. BitFlip by Cradle is a virtual instrument that gives you a bunch of retro gaming sounds, chiptune stuff. You get 40 presets and lots of ways to make the sound your own. I mean, it's from Cradle. You gotta have it. Cradle always has super interesting plugin design, right? Next, there are 2 sampled instruments that released this past year from Spitfire, and I love both of these. First up is Bell Swarm, a collection of sampled vibraphones, glockenspiels, and handbells. The other is Autograph Grand, which is sampled directly from a Yamaha C6 piano played by Lady Gaga, Paul Simon, Ariana Grande, Metallica, RZA, and many others. Pretty cool to use the same sounds as those artists, right? Spitfire Labs has lots of free instruments like this, so try some others as well. Okay, here's an interesting one just updated recently. It's Tal Vocoder 2, a vintage vocoder plugin that includes a carrier synth, and you can also use it with an external carrier as well. Bottom line, you can get those robot voice sounds easily with this thing. They improved this plugin a lot in 2023 with version 2. All right, I've got a few excellent piano plugins next. I'm always looking for nice pianos. The first one is a fully sampled Steinway piano. Over 11,000 samples were recorded to get this piano from 1928 to sound like the real thing. You even get 2 microphone positions, convolution reverbs, and more. Now, this one requires the full version of Kontakt, but keep in mind they used to sell this for $250, and now you have it for free. Now, if you don't have the full version of Kontakt, the next piano works with the free Kontakt player. It's called Feltsiler, and man, I love the parameter controls on this piano. Check it out. There's a control for ache and loneliness. This is one of the more unique piano plugins I have in this list. The next piano is a mainstay in the free piano plugin world and a must-have. It's Piano One by SoundMagic. They recently updated it to a special edition version, which was supposed to be only available for a limited time, but it's still on the site, so download it before it's gone. You get the sound of a Yamaha C7, and there's a vintage upright also included with the SE version. I hope it's still included. This plugin uses a hybrid modeling engine, so it's small and light, unlike most sampled piano libraries. All right, here's something a little different. It's actually a sample library, but the reason I wanted to include it here is because it's from one of my favorite piano plugin companies. This is the Hammers and Waves sample pack. It includes melodies and one-shots from the actual virtual instrument, and it's totally free. So take those one-shots and make something with it. All right, so that's acoustic pianos. How about an electric piano? Sample Science recently released a lo-fi electric piano instrument called Cassette Rhodes. It's a sampled instrument with LFO and reverb, everything you need to make that study music album. All right, so we've covered a lot of keys. How about a must-have synth? Monolith by Bleece is a free mono synth that will give you bass, leads, and even arpeggiating sounds. And it's got everything from unison to modulation options. Bleece has some great paid stuff as well. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I share free new plugins every week on Saturdays. Don't miss those videos. And I just released my own free sampled instrument. You can download Music Box from sanjayc.com for free. I sampled this from a vintage Music Box and created unique presets for it as well. And while you're there, check out my other sample packs and instruments. Lots of freebies from me, but hey, get the Music Box one right now. It's not going to be free forever. All right, let's get a little weird now. This next instrument is also from Sample Science. It's a sound sound effects plugin with sci-fi sound effects. 146 cinematic sounds to add to your next Star Wars or Star Trek series. Okay, let's settle this once and for all. Star Wars versus Star Trek. Which universe is better? Comment below. Okay, before we get to the effects, I've got a bonus sample pack library that's totally free. This one is called Processed Impacts. It's from Boom Library. It's another cinematic sound library for your trailers and movies, or hey, just add them to your music too. By the way, you can download all these freebies below. Links are right below the video. All right, time for some effects plugins, but before we get to them, how about a free DAW? Yes, a free DAW from Universal Audio. Universal Audio is sponsoring this part of the video, and if you haven't tried their Luna DAW, you should. It's a full-featured DAW, and you get sounds free with it too. The shape instrument included with Luna is just outstanding. The cello and electric piano sounds you're hearing are from Shape. You get a lot more sounds, of course. And Luna comes with oxide tape that gives you the classic clarity, punch, and warmth of analog tape. You can use your favorite plugins with Luna so you can start and finish a full project right here. Sink into the sofa, the words dried out. I actually mixed a full song in Luna using just the sounds you get with it. And don't forget, there's other free stuff included with it as well. This DAW sounds different and adds an awesome flavor to your tracks. You have to try it to hear that difference. Luna is currently Mac only, and hey, if you want to try other Universal Audio plugins for free, you can try the Spark subscription plan free for a few days. Links to Luna and Spark are below the video. All right, let's get to those effects next. Every year, Baby Audio releases a new free plugin, and 2023 was no different. Baby Audio's Beat Slammer is a free compression plugin that's meant for drums in particular. It gives your drums a super squashed pumping feel. You got to give this a try, so I'll call this a must-have. Baby Audio knows some great parallel compression tricks, so Beat Slammer really makes good use of their expertise in this area. Okay, how about an EQ from iZotope? This is Ozone EQ. Ozone is a mastering plugin I use on a lot of my music, and this is the Ozone EQ section that they're now giving away for free. This EQ is really meant for mastering, but hey, use it wherever you want. Okay, get ready for something creative. You probably already have a delay plugin, but how about one that changes the delay sound to a harmony? This is Require. I'll call this a must try. You can create a choir echo with harmonies with this plugin, or you can generate pitches manually in the delay with the controls. All right, I discovered some ultra cool looking plugins recently from Green Oak Software. Must-haves, kind of just because they look really cool. Tungsten is a delay effect, and Cesium is a chorus effect. All right, Wave Factory makes one of my favorite plugins. It's called Track Spacer, and they also have a freebie that is super unique. Snare Buzz actually recreates the sound of a buzzing snare drum wire when another sound is produced next to it. Yeah, you have to try to understand what it's all about. This is their newest freebie called Heatwave. Heatwave is a simple one-knob saturation plugin. They say it can add sizzle to drums and pretty much beef up any sound. Fresh Air by Slate is another nice free plugin. That's an oldie but goodie. Alrighty, let's get a full effects chain going with free plugins. Let's start with a new preamp plugin based on a preamp from the 1950s. It's one of those legendary preamps that inspired the sound of some of the Beatles recordings. If you're looking for a different kind of vintage preamp sound, try Fire the Gold, a British-style preamp created in plugin form by Acoustica Audio. Just one knob to dial up the saturation and exaggerate the sound. Simple. How about adding a compressor to your chain? This is a super popular compressor with over 500,000 downloads. It's called Rough Rider 3. This compressor is not supposed to be transparent. It colors the sound intentionally, but with the latest version, you can actually have more control and get it to a more neutral sound if you want. All right, let's get some reverb now. Space Light from Cymatics is a simple reverb plugin that also incorporates pitch, chorus, flanger, and phaser effects. All those extras get added to the reverb part of the effect only, not to the original sound. So you'll get a super unique reverb sound with this. Okay, Yum Audio makes some cool stuff, and they frequently add free plugins as well. Greater Light is a freebie that gives you some extra compression, punch, and distortion. It's extreme, so beware. WA Productions has a bunch of free plugins, so go get them all. Multi-Bender, Puncher, Outlaw Light, and Kashmir Essentials Kick. If you're having trouble getting a nice punchy hard sound from your kick drum, try this free plugin. And hey, it's from Kashmir. Go watch my interview with him, my most popular interview video ever. Okay, let's say you're done with your mix, but you want it to sound louder without really increasing the volume. This is Mia Muscle, a perceived loudness plugin. Use this sparingly so that you don't get an over-compressed sound, but give it a try. Must-have alert. This is Regency, a phase distortion plugin. There are some excellent paid distortion plugins out there, but hey, this one is free and it gives you 6 wave graphs, ladder filters, envelopes, and all that for getting creative distortion sounds. But if you want a more natural distortion and saturation sound, try Sample Sun's Overheat. It emulates the natural sound of tube saturation when you push a signal chain to its limits. And now, well, you can do this without hardware. And the creative distortions continue. This is a weird looking plugin that gives you 4 bands of different distortions. You can add different modules of distortion effects to the colorful grid and control them across the bands. One more reverb that was new in 2023. Flex Reverb is a plate reverb that includes a graphic EQ. It's a nice way to clean up your reverb to fit in your mix without having to tweak it with another plugin. Hey, here's another one from Cymatics. It's a time-stretching pitch shifting plugin, great for hip-hop tracks, but you can use the 9 different settings on any track for some creative effects. Okay, last. I'm gonna tread carefully here. This free plugin comes from a plugin company that people love to hate, Unison Audio. And I think this is their first free plugin. Zenmaster is a lo-fi plugin that gives you control of detuning and width effects, wobble, bit crushing, noise, and reverb. And in Unison Audio fashion, they use an entire page to explain why you need it, with quotes from users, commenters, and more. This is a free plugin, guys. We don't need that much convincing. Or do we? You do have to give them your email address. Have fun with all these freebies, and if you're looking for the best budget gear to start making music at home, you need to watch my latest videos comparing the best keyboards, headphones, audio interfaces, and studio monitors. Watch them right here and make the music you love. See you later.